This video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and listen up ladies and fellas, don't you dare be sour unless you're talking about G Fuel's all new sour fruit punch. The iconic fruit flavor is getting a sour revamp, and G Fuel is celebrating the launch by taking its sour sibling out the G Fuel vault, the Sour Pixel Potion, a sour grape flavor that is sure to have your mouth puckering. The sour fruit punch energy formula is delicious and has zero sugar, and is packed with vitamins and antioxidants that you're definitely going to be craving, and so too is the Sour Pixel Potion grape flavor. There's just enough caffeine in it to get your day started or use as a pick-me-up, which you guys know I am very quick to use G Fuel. I've used it for years now, both to get my day started as well as to refuel on another boost, because running 3 YouTube channels, including one like this one that uploads daily, it is not easy, but G Fuel takes the load off. Use my promo code KAGE at checkout by using my affiliate link down below to get yours today. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 9 gave us a lot of information, and while the focus of most fans was on Himawari and Kurama's return, there was something rather interesting that happened with the character Kawaki that I want to discuss, because while people have been memeing the guy, and God knows I've been doing it on social media and on video thumbnails and taking pop shots and videos, I've been having a lot of fun at Kawaki's expense. I also wanted to take the time to throw Kawaki fans a little bit of a bone with some meat on it so they can sink their teeth into it and not just give you some false hope that will allow you to cope harder, because I truly believe that Boruto's line in the chapter where he told Kawaki to basically, and I'm paraphrasing, suck it up and have you even been training, bro? I think that line has been grossly misinterpreted, and just like I said in the chapter review, yeah, Kawaki stocks are crashing, but I'm buying the dip on Kawaki all day. So allow me to explain and allow me to set the record straight here by clearing something up, because I've seen some misconceptions. So I'm not saying that this is a translation error, and after the video I did cleaning up the misky translation error on the official translations, I've seen a few comments of people saying I'm attacking the official translation, when I literally say in that video I wasn't doing that, and that I explained how the mistake was made for the English translation opposed to the other languages, and I showed appreciation for the fact that despite Japanese to English being as hard as it is, literally one of the hardest translations to do, Boruto still has one of the better official translations than say Jujutsu Kaisen does currently, where I don't even read the official translation, and better than what My Hero Academia had a few years ago. So with that cleared up, this Boruto line, it wasn't a case of a translation error. This is what was basically said in Japanese, but it is something where I think a lot of people, they got caught in the moment of it, and it's for a really good reason. Anytime a writer can make you focus so much and get such a emotional response out of you out of one line of dialogue, they are doing their job and the story's doing its job. So congratulations there. So basically Boruto, he dropped a very brutal line, very similar to the one that Sasuke hit Naruto with, where he told the guy, hey, instead of worrying about chasing me, you should have been worried about training more, dog. And then he bodies all the members of Team 7 in the manga. That was likely as a close of a fourth wall meta break that you're ever going to get with Boruto, where the guy's basically saying what the audience has been saying for the last 9 months, which is, what did Kawaki even do when he trained? Does he even train? What does he even do? We've all seen the memes. Even I wondered it at times. If Kawaki, after training to unlock his full dojutsu, didn't happen to get rusty. It's something I even talked about in the video, but when I read this line in the chapter, that's where it really hit me, and I went back and I took the time to reread all the chapters of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex in order to see how big of an apology I might owe Kawaki fans for all the slander I've been doing, even though I've always backloaded that slander by saying, hey, Kawaki stocks are going to be on the rise eventually. And I'm here to say it's a really big apology. Like, I'm going to say I'm sorry. Like, wow, I am sorry. So Boruto asking Kawaki, hey bro, do you even train? It isn't an insult that he gave Kawaki that we think it is, so much as it's the narrative highlighting something about Boruto that in hindsight should be extremely obvious. Boruto saying, do you even train? It was a reflection of him projecting Boruto's own growth over the last 3 years, doing it onto Kawaki, basically comparing it. A lot of you guys have said that the second arc of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it gives off like a lot of vibes of the Cell Saga from Dragon Ball, and I wanted to use an example from that Cell Saga where this exact same thing happened, and why I think we're getting a loose close homage to it, something that Ikimoto said before he likes to do. When you had Goku and he's battling Cell and he's going full power, he's barely keeping up with Cell, despite the untrained eye thinking that Goku is fighting him evenly. There was a moment where Goku tells his son, hey, I was fighting at full power, though Cell was holding back. And when Goku's 9-year-old son Gohan, which the English dub screws up, he's not 11 or 12 or whatever the dub says, he's 9 years old here. When Gohan says that he didn't believe it and that he thinks his dad wasn't at full power, Goku drops the bombshell on us that Gohan only thought that because Gohan was measuring the power levels of Goku and Cell against Gohan's own power level, which is why he thought neither Goku or Cell were fighting at full power, despite Goku literally going all out, and that it was confirmed when Gohan finally used his full power as a Super Saiyan and easily blew his father out the water in terms of strength, well before Gohan even went Super Saiyan 2. I said to say this, I think we might have seen Boruto make the same mistake, measuring Kawaki's current power against his own, but most importantly against what Boruto expected Kawaki to be in terms of his strength level. It really comes across like Boruto projected Kawaki to be at this insane strength level to increase his power at the same rapid rate that Boruto did the last 3 years, and Boruto probably trained harder thinking, hey, this guy's already stronger than me, so if we're gonna grow at the same level, I've got to train even harder in order to overtake him, because Boruto wants to fight Kawaki with the intention of beating him and making Kawaki submit, not to kill him, which means he's got to train even harder, because when you're fighting to restrain, it requires more effort than fighting to kill. That's why the Akatsuki moved in pairs. Not headcanon, that's why you read data books. And in all honesty, this is really making Sasuke look like a genius, and as he said when he was training Boruto in the flashback of Boruto Tubu Vortex, Sasuke, he ain't the type to tell jokes with a lie. If Sasuke says something, he absolutely means it. Sasuke's not like me, where if I say Konoha is going to be the 9th Hokage, you guys all know I am 100% capping. Sasuke literally told us in the first arc that Boruto at the age of 12 was growing at a rate that made Sasuke claim that Boruto would end up surpassing Naruto in power. Constantly throughout the series, whatever continuity you want to use, multiple people, they've always compared Boruto either to Sasuke, with Naruto himself saying, no, my kid's a lot like you, dude, or comparing him to Naruto, which Sasuke did, or Boruto's own grandfather Minato, which Kakashi and a handful of other people did. Those are 3 of the biggest geniuses in the series. 2 geniuses right off the bat, and the other one, Naruto, was a guy that he was a late bloomer. He went from eating crayons and not being able to draw his way out of a paper bag to being a absolute combat genius and a genius of hard work. And 3 of the people who made monster increases in their power, jumping several tiers at a time when they progress. You just looked up and these guys just kept jumping level after level. It's literally unfair to Kawaki when you look at it from that perspective. Yes, Kawaki, his dad, he was stated to be a brilliant shinobi according to the anime 192 if I'm not mistaken. Outside of that one clip, nobody ever knew who Kawaki's father was. That can always change. It took us over 300 chapters before we even learned who Naruto's parents were officially. So there's always a chance that that information is coming down the pipeline. I don't rule it out. We might learn. But even with Kawaki clearly having some talent as a shinobi, learning the shadow clone jutsu and fire release change in chakra nature, which is a huge deal that is very impressive, since we're told that for most shinobi it takes years a change in chakra nature drill training to just get one change in chakra nature. Again, exceptions like Kashi and Sasuke and Itachi and Boruto, they have always existed. Exceptions, they don't make the standard. Look at how strong Boruto got on his own without a true driving factor to get stronger. Just some training with his mother and doing training games with Naruto before Naruto became Hokage, and during the early years when Naruto was Hokage, Boruto, by the time he was in the graduation exam, already had the skill level of a Chunin. By the time the Chunin exams in the first arc of the story, we have confirmation that Boruto and Sarada and Mitsuki were already at the power and skill of a Jonin, according to the Boruto movie novelization written by the former writer of Boruto's manga. In that story, none of that information in that novel was contradicted by what we saw in the manga. Boruto only continued to grow stronger since the Chunin Chunin exams arc, because he got his first real motivation to train in order to complete the task that Sasuke laid out for him so that Sasuke could train him more extensively, which is what we got during that time skip for that 1 year. And Boruto, being the genius that he is, much like his grandfather, who we are told in the Minato one-shot manga, learns super complex jutsu extremely fast. The importance of having a clear goal that drives your motivation, it cannot be understated when it comes to battle shonen. It's literally one of the core genre tropes that is just as prevalent as mental amps that we get when people they get a boost that comes from the need to protect someone, or they get a surge of power whenever there's a friendship boost or a rivalry boost. These are tropes that have existed for decades in shonen, and decades from now when more shonen are coming out, this trope is still going to exist because it is tried, true, and tested. For Boruto to have gotten that far before training with a sense of urgency that we've never seen from him before, to the point where even Sasuke says, "No fam, listen to me. I am not joking with you. I literally taught you every jutsu I know. I have nothing else to teach you. The only thing left for you is to keep honing those skills that I taught you." Basically, he's saying, hey, add your own twist to it. After you perfect these jutsu, add your twist to it, make it your own, and you will be unstoppable. That speaks volumes to the chip on his shoulders that Boruto had going into that time skip before and after Code took down Sasuke. Boruto couldn't beat Kawaki in their fight. Sarada almost got killed for interfering in that fight, and Boruto had to run with his tail between his legs, knowing that he needed to get stronger, because if he walked right back into Konoha, if Damon didn't whoop his ass, Kawaki whoop his ass. He wasn't strong enough to fight alongside his sensei in those final moments, but instead he had to run away with stardust in his eyes because he was having a pity party of an American nightmare because things weren't going his way. And when Sasuke said, "You need to leave and not worry about me," Boruto knew that he had to go somewhere else to finish his story. Boruto understood that at that moment in time, if he had a Thunder Burger in his mouth, Code could slap that Thunder Burger out of his mouth and there's nothing that Boruto could do. Boruto was forced to live with one of the biggest failures and most traumatizing moments in his life, losing the only real security blanket he had with him. And that was all meant to stimulate his growth, which happened rapidly in his base without having to ever use the Karma Seal. Look, Kawaki, he did grow stronger. There are multiple signs that he grew stronger. The fact that his dojutsu has fully matured, it spoke volumes about the fact that he has all the spokes of the Dharma Will Eye. Not even Jigen had all the spokes of the Dharma Will Eye. Some of that, yeah, Kawaki is a perfect vessel for Ishiki, but he's gotten more skilled with it, which means that he's trained that eye. He's been shown either through his own behavior or his own statements to believe that he is strong enough to handle a threat in the same tier as Code. That is a threat that he prepared for. Look at the end of Boruto Part 1. He made it a mission to kill Boruto, someone who he was already stronger than. He knew he could walk up to Boruto and slap the Thunder Burger lemon sauce out his mouth, but Code was stronger than Jigen now, and that Code just got his limiters removed, and we know how easily Damon dogged out Kawaki to know that Boruto and Kawaki, by extension, they were nowhere near white-haired Code. Code at least managed to survive a few seconds. Boruto and Kawaki got taken out in one hit. The guy has spent the last 3 years in a house with a kid who beat Code so badly he ran away in embarrassment. Kawaki, just off that one thing alone, has a way to gauge how strong Code is by using Damon, and his own words and behavior lend to the conclusion that he would have beaten Code had he got there before Boruto. To what degree, we can't say, but he did believe he was strong enough to win. With Mitsuki even saying himself, he didn't think Kawaki was strong enough to beat Code the way that Boruto did. The issue with Kawaki is that he didn't anticipate Boruto getting this strong. Base Boruto is already scaling this far ahead of Jigen. With how easily Boruto had Kawaki sucking for air the way an OnlyFans model sucks on something else for $3.99, that is a sign that Kawaki miscalculated. We might even be able to jump to the conclusion that Kawaki is only beyond Code when he uses his Karma Seal, just when we look at what we've been given in terms of what we've seen, and it makes it look like in character that Kawaki, he spent 3 years using his ninja tech and his karma seal as the main components of how he would grow stronger, because those were the ways that were the fastest way to gain power instead of shinobi methods. And he specifically said that him being an Otsutsuki allowed him to uniquely kill Otsutsuki. This is less that, oh, Kawaki's weak. He's weaker compared to Boruto. This is more that Boruto's just that strong right now. Kawaki might have grown soft after he gained the power that he deemed to be strong enough to take down a threat that he was preparing for in code. And if that's the case, he made the same mistake that Naruto did. He reached a point where it's confirmed he was strong enough to take on a Kage level threat on his own, and Naruto got rusty because he got complacent with his power. Whereas Sasuke stayed fresh, Naruto got rusty, and you can swap Sasuke with Boruto and Naruto with Kawaki, which is what the narrative has already done for us. It's actually really impressive when you consider where Boruto and Kawaki were at the end of part 1 of the story, which this video on the left tells you exactly where they were, and the video on the right is a chapter review for those of you guys who have not seen it.